Shalom, Akim. This is your Hebrew Israelite brother, Mashaba, here in the city of Detroit. I'd like to give all praises and all honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Akapadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of the great millstone that taught us truth, peace, and salutations to the hopeful nurse. Shalom. Welcome to today's lesson. Today's lesson is on Exodus chapter 20, verse 17. And it reads, "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house." Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Why is that? First of all, what does the word covet mean? And covet means to desire or to want. Okay? What your neighbor has. You want his house. You desire it. So, this means you envy your neighbor. You envy him or her. You admire them. You got a strong desire and admiration for what they have. And that is something that you shouldn't do. You should not do that. Okay? Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. His wife, most definitely, you should not want or desire and lust for his wife. You see, because that leads to all types of complications and issues that could result into sinful sexual activities, one way or the other, okay, which would be abominable to the both of us. One moment, Shalom. Now, okay, nor his manservant, you see, nor his manservant, somebody that does for him, a man that does different things for him, to work for him, to run errands for him, and different things. You know, you are not to want or desire to have his manservant as your own, to the point where you would actually be trying to coerce his male servant to come and work for you. Go get your own. Don't desire your neighbor's male servant. Go get your own. Many of the people of today, especially particularly the two-thirds, have a strong desire for whatever thy neighbor has. Nor his maid servant. You see, his female servant. You're not to desire her, to want her, to develop a need for her, you know. Especially if you have a desire for her and you get pissed off at him, your neighbor, because he won't let you have her. He won't let you talk with her. Won't let you associate with her. Nor his ox, you see. What type of car he got, what type of cattle he got, his worth. You're not to desire these things. Nor his ass. You see? You are not one way or the other. You are not to desire his ass. And that's a twofer. You see? So, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. You see? Nothing that belongs to him, you are most definitely are not to have a desire for it. Now, we're going to go into some precepts concerning this verse, okay? concerning these verses. Well, it's a lot of precepts. We want to do some of these precepts. We're going to start off with this one. Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food. Now, this is when the serpent came to Eve and beguiled her and convinced her, coerced her to eat of the tree of goodness and knowledge, okay, of eternal life. Okay, and she was coerced to eat of it, and when she did, you see, for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes. See, it was pleasant to her eyes because it was learning. It was a temptation. You see, it was a temptation. And remember, we're talking a serpent. We're not talking an actual real serpent that's crawling on the ground. We're talking about an actual person. You have people that are as serpents, okay, that walk amongst us. Okay, that's what that's talking about. So in the Garden of Eden, it wasn't an actual serpent. Okay, that red devil, Esau is Edom. And a tree to be desired to make one wise. She saw that and understood that. The false doctrine. And she took of the fruit thereof and did eat. Now you understand the fruit thereof was not an apple. It was not an actual fruit. It was doctrine, false doctrine. The fruit of false doctrine. Their fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, Adam, and he did eat. You see? And then you go to 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 14, and it says that Adam did not commit, he was not the abomination, but Eve, being that she did transgress, she was the one in the transgression. It's lucky for just paraphrasing it. Okay. We're going to go carry on. This is Genesis chapter 14, verse 23. That I may not take from a thread even to a shoelatchet, and that I will not take anything that is thine, because we're not supposed to be taken what's not ours, what's not thine. You see? Lest thou shouldest say, I have made Abram rich. You see? Genesis chapter 34, verse 23. Shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? Now, don't that sound like a 2/3? Flat out. That's what a 2/3 would say. Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us. You see?
Guys, I almost got evicted today, but I just signed up for a $1,400 health allowance, which pays.
You see? Salaki. This is Joshua chapter 7, verse 21. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonian garment, and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them. You see, coveted them, wanted them, desired them. You see, and took them. You see, that's what it leads to. When you covet something that belongs to someone else, it leads to you taking hold of it. You see, taking control of it, taking authority over it. because you have set yourself up to desire it, to want it, to lust for it, to covet it. You see, and that's the thing that you ought not do, because it'll lead to you taking hold of it. And behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent. You see that? You see that? He done took it, all that stuff, because he coveted it, he desired it, wanted it, and then took it. Now he got his stash in his tent, in the middle of his tent, buried under the ground in his tent. And the silver under it, you see? And the silver under it. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 19. Wherefore, then didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord, but didst thou upon the spoil, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord. And that's the way the people are. Because people will go through all lengths and measures to rob and steal from another person, because they would have desired having a coveted desire for what someone else owns. You see? Psalms chapter 10, verse 3. We're going to take the time to remind you to press the like button. Go ahead and press the like button. That helps out for the algorithms of this YouTube channel. And also press the subscription button. Go ahead and press the subscription button and press the notification bell. This will help you to receive special notification alerts each time that I release a new video for your spiritual edification. And also, hopefully, this video will help you to see other precepts in this video that you might decide to use to put together a video that you can use to feed the sheep. Remember, as good shepherds, our job is always to feed the sheep so that the sheep may have good grazing pastures in order for them to graze. So water for that, ever so much. Now let's get back into this word. Psalm chapter 10, verse 3. For the wicked boast of his heart's desire, you see, and blesseth the covetous whom the Lord abhorred. You see, the Lord does not favor those that boast, those that take the time to covet. If you are covetous, the Lord does not favor you. You see, because you like to desire and envy that of others, particularly that of the world. You are worldly. You are worldly. Psalm chapter 119, verse 36. Incline my heart unto thy testimonies, and not to covetousness. Why? Because when our hearts are inclined to testimonies of the Lord, then we are busy in prophesying. And that's what the Lord told us too. Prophesy and study ourselves in the Word until He returns. And that is what it is for us to do. You see? Flat out. Nothing more greater. You see? Spending time with the Word. We do it daily. For the Lord said, in the temple I was with thee daily, preaching, teaching. You see? You see? Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 8. There is one alone, and there is not a second. Yea, he hath neither child nor brother, yet is there no end of all his labor. You see? There is no end to all his labor. Neither is his eye satisfied with riches. You see? Come on, the man of the Lord. Neither says he, for whom do I labor, and bereave my soul of good. This is also vanity. You see, because all is vanity. All that we try to do and strive to do, whatever you're trying to do now, is all vanity. Whatever it is. Because the time gonna come when it's all gonna be destroyed. By fire, thus says Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. It is a sore travail. You see? Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 10. And it reads, He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity. Because, why is this also vanity? Because in this world, in this Edomite kingdom, where Esau is Edom rules, the beast and the beast system, no matter what you do, no matter what you have, no matter how many riches and how much of the riches that you heap up unto yourself, you cannot take none of it with you. You can't take none of it with you. I just got to watching a video of 100 celebrities that died, that passed on this year, 2023. And I was surprised to see there's so many of them. Celebrities. You'd be surprised. And the majority of them were old in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, some in their 90s. Only a few in their 30s, but the majority of them were old. You see? They couldn't take nothing with them. They had to go. No matter what you try to take with you, there's nothing that you can take with you. There were pharaohs and kings that buried treasures in tombs with them. There was a waste of their time. All that's physical. You cannot transcend the physical up into the spiritual. Those are just materials. They're just materials. You see? However, Yahweh can do whatever he wants. You know, by Shem Yahushua. But we have to remember that. You see?
How can I assist you today?
Yeah, I'm calling about the health subsidy.
And also, you have to remember that when Yahweh by Shem Yahushua destroys the Edomite kingdom, there's not going to be anything left, neither branch nor root. America is the altar, and the 2/3 and the Edomites and the heathens are the meat. The fatness of the calves, of the kidneys of rams, and all these different things, that's them. And those thermonuclear missiles, ICBMs, when they be coming down, and those direct energy beams from the chariots, they're going to set it all ablaze. Everything that you heaped up unto yourself shall be burnt up. The Lord Yahweh said, Luke chapter 12, verse 49, I come not to bring peace, but I come to bring fire. But what would it? But what would I if it already be kindled? You see? You have to remember these things. So, no matter what you take pride, just recently, September of last year, my house burnt up. My house. I had a 2-family flat here in the city of Detroit. It burnt up. It caught fire. One of those ion lithium batteries exploded. And blew up. Burnt up my house. Yep. I lost everything. You see? And so you can't take any of it with, and it made me to realize, no matter how much I heaped up and had unto myself, I lost it all. It burnt right up. Just like that. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 11. When goods increase, they are increased that eat them. They are increased that eat them. See, so that means that no matter what you try to do, what you try to have, there are always some sort of situation or something to eat at what you have. Even when you increase and get more monies, then comes more responsibilities with the monies, you see, with your increase. And what good is there to the owners thereof, you see, saving the beholding of them with their eyes? You see? You see? So what good is to the owner? What good is it? Isaiah chapter 33, verse 15. He that walketh righteously and speaketh uprightly, he that despiseth the gain of oppression, you see, that's the man of the Lord, and that shaketh his hands from holding of bribes, you see, because when you are a good man, you don't let others just put bribes in your hands. You don't let people bribe you see, that because you're a man of the Lord. That stoppeth his ears from hearing of blood. You see? You see? That's self-explanatory. And shutted his eyes from seeing evil. You see? That's the same as a gift destroyeth the heart. That's why you don't take no bribes in different things and gifts from certain people, because they only trying to give you a gift so they can what? Hush your mouth, make you turn your eyes, shut your eyes from what they're trying to do. And they're trying to do wickedness. Stay steadfast and strong in the Lord. Hold strong. Isaiah chapter 57, verse 17. For the iniquity of his covetousness was Ira, and smote him. You see? You see? Because he was filled with the desire to do that guy in, because he had all the covetousness going on. I hid me and was wrath, and he went on forward in the way of his heart. You see? You see? That's where you have to be sometimes. Avoiding some people. Jeremiah chapter 22, verse 17. But thine eyes and thine heart are not but for thy covetousness, because that's all that a person sees and all that they think and all that's on their mind is constantly desiring and wanting, lusting for what somebody else has. That's something that you cannot do. And you have to stay steadfast and remember, never mind what somebody else has. Just be happy what Yahweh has given unto you. You see? Be happy what Yahweh has given unto you. And for to shed the innocent blood, and for oppression, and for violence to do it. You see? All that angers the Lord. All that angers and infuriates the Lord. Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 31. And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sat before thee as my people. You see, but you know they're not. And they hear the words, but they will not do them. They're 2/3. That's why 2/3 was not going to hear the word of the Lord, because they have a serpent angel in charge over them to make sure that they don't hear that they don't see this truth, they don't hear this truth, and that their minds cannot understand this truth. Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9, 10. 11. For with their mouth they shew much love. You know, all we're talking is they love. Oh, they love
You can
God.
flip houses in a day and make just as much money as those rehabbers you see on TV without.
And how much they love God, and how much they do, you know, they want to serve God, but they don't serve God. They don't push this truth. They don't call upon His name. They wacky-tacky Christians, 2/3, heathens and Edomites. And the Lord made it clear, what is thee to do with my word, and that's my statute in thy mouth. You see, because, you know, Isaiah chapter 26, verse 4, I do believe that is, might be 10. It may be 10. That says, let the wicked be showed favor, yet shall they learn righteousness. You see? And they shall not. But their heart goeth after their covetousness. You see? You see, their heart goes after their covetousness. We're going to read a few more of these, and we're going to close it out. Amos chapter 2, verse 6. Thus said the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Israel, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. You see, because the Lord has a judgment set for those who like to covet that of what others have. Because they sold the righteous for silver. You see, they sold the righteous as a slave, and the poor for a pair of shoes. You see that? You see that? And the poor for a pair of shoes. Verse 7. That pant after the dust of the earth on the head of the poor, and turn aside the way of the meek. You see, they have no cares, no concerns for the poor. You see, they use them and abuse them, you know, and turn them away. You see, and a man and his father will go in unto the same maid. The same maid. That means both of them taking turns running up in her. Both just tag teaming. You see? To profane my holy name. You see? You see that? Abominable. Micah chapter 2, verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence. They who? The Edomites, so-called white people. Esau is Edom. The beast and the beast system. They covet the fields. They want whatever the fields. They want whatever the people's got. The fields of the people. They want whatever the people's got. And desire whatever the people's got. They want all of the resources of what the people got. And they take them by violence. And that's what they do. They use their guns to go in and they spoil and rob people's houses. They use their guns to, attack people and do all kinds of manners of violence to shed their blood. And houses and take them away. And that's what they foreclose on people's houses. They evict people out onto the streets. People ain't got nowhere to go. They got homeless encampments all over the place, California, Florida, Seattle. The people who are homeless here in Detroit. All the people are thrown out because their houses have been taken away. Their homes taken away. You see, by Esau is Edom. So they oppress a man and his house. They do just like the land bank. The Detroit land bank was oppressing me, having me to work like a slave to do whatever repairs that they wanted me to make. Whatever they said do. Whatever hoops they wanted me to jump, I had to jump through. And in the end, they still didn't give me my completion. The house burned down. You see? But the whole time I was being oppressed by the compliance team, by the land bank's compliance team. Even a man and his heritage, you see? And they didn't like it that I was a Hebrew Israelite. And I put a sign out front of the house above the archway. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous runneth into it and is safe. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10. You see? You see? We're going to read one more of this and close it out. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 9. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness. That means wickedness. You desire the wickedness of what others is doing. You wicked to his house, that he may set his nest on high. You see, high-rise buildings and high-rise different things, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. You see, because you got others that'll do that. They'll take the time to set themselves up in a high place while using trickery to keep you down in a low place. You see, and these are those to truly watch out for the digital. One more. Luke chapter 12, verse 15. And he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. You see, we're going to end it off right there. You see, and the Lord made it clear. He made it clear. Beware. Let's read that again. Take heed and beware. This is Luke chapter 12, verse 15. And he said, talking about Yahushua, and he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life, talking about a man's life, consisteth not in.
This is Lauren from CNN News here to urge all Americans who haven't claimed their new 5,000.
Beware of covetousness, for a man's life consists not in the abundance of the things which he possesses. You see? Your life should not consist of trying to gather things, because in the end you cannot take these things with you. No matter what you do, no matter how much you lock it away, stash it away, put it away, you cannot take it away with you. You must leave it all behind, for all is vanity. Lord's willing, you were edified by today's video. I'd like to take the time to hopefully that you were edified by today's video, and that you maybe perhaps seen some precepts that you would like to use in a video that you put together to help feed the sheep. Because our job as good shepherds of the Lord is to feed the sheep. That is our job. I would like to take the time to remind you to press the like button and to press the subscription button and the notification bell, so that you may receive special notification alerts each time that I release a new video for your spiritual edification. And I hope this video provoked you to thought, okay, on your next video. So I take the time to give all praises and all honors to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekapadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone that taught us this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elects. Shalom to the hopeful elects.